Manchester City, a name that echoes through the world of football. But it wasn't always champagne celebrations and showered in trophies. The club started modestly in 1880, known then as St Mark's, West Gorton. Imagine, the Etihad Giants were once a humble church team. They became Ardwick Association Football Club in 1887, finally adopting the Manchester City moniker in 1894. Early days saw City battling in the lower divisions. Their first taste of glory came in 1904, lifting the FA Cup. This victory put them on the map, a sign of their growing potential. But Manchester back then was painted red. City lived in the shadow of their noisy neighbours, Manchester United. Despite the challenge, City built a loyal following. Main Road, their home from 1923 to 2003, became a fortress of blue passion. The roar of the Kippax Street stand was legendary, a testament to the unwavering support for the club. These were the foundations upon which future glory would be built. The path to greatness, however, is rarely smooth. City had their share. They experienced relegation, financial struggles, even a fire that damaged Main Road. But through it all, the spirit of the club and the unwavering belief of its fans never wavered. They knew their time would come. The post-war era saw periods of resurgence for Manchester City. The late 1960s, under the guidance of manager Joe Mercer and the brilliance of Colin Bell, Mike Summerby and Francis Lee, were particularly special. They clinched the league championship in 1968, adding the FA Cup in 1969 and the European Cup Winners' Cup in 1970. City were truly a force to be reckoned with. However, the following decades were a roller coaster. Glimmers of hope, like the 1976 League Cup triumph and the thrilling 1981 FA Cup final, were overshadowed by inconsistency. Relegations happened. The yo-yo club tag stung, but even in the darkest hours, the City faithful never lost faith. The late 1990s marked a particularly low point. Back-to-back relegations saw City plummet to the third tier of English football, unthinkable for a club of their stature. Yet this period of adversity would prove to be a turning point. It forced introspection, a reassessment of their identity. Little did anyone know a sleeping giant was about to awaken. The dawn of the new millennium brought about seismic changes at Manchester City. The seeds of their transformation were sown with the takeover by Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan in 2008. Suddenly, City had resources they could only have dreamed of before. Ambition soared. Mark Hughes steadied the ship initially, but it was the arrival of Roberto Mancini in 2009 that signalled a shift in mentality. Big-name signings followed. Carlos Tevez, Yaya Toure, David Silva, players who could compete with the best. The 2011 FA Cup, their first major trophy in 35 years, ended the drought and provided a taste of what was to come. The appointment of Roberto Mancini's successor, Manuel Pellegrini, heralded an era of unprecedented success. The Chileans' attacking brand of football, spearheaded by the lethal Sergio Aguero, brought 2 Premier League titles, 2 League Cups and a Community Shield. Manchester was no longer red, it was turning sky blue. Today, Manchester City stand as a global footballing powerhouse. Under Pep Guardiola, arguably the world's best manager, they play a brand of football that is breathtaking to watch. Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, the names roll off the tongue, each a superstar in their own right. 5 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, 6 League Cups and a Champions League trophy in the last decade tell their own story. City are relentless, a winning machine that shows no signs of slowing down. They have rewritten the record books and redefined what it means to be a dominant force in English football. But it's not just about trophies. Manchester City have built a legacy that extends beyond the pitch. Their state-of-the-art academy is nurturing the next generation of talent. Their commitment to the community is unwavering. They are not just a football club, they are an integral part of the fabric of Manchester. The future looks bright for Manchester City. The club that once stood in the shadows has emerged as a giant of the game. And as they continue to strive for excellence, One thing is certain. The blue moon is rising, and its ascent shows no signs of abating.